All right, good morning. And let's start in butterfly. So you want your heels 2 hands length away from your groin and put your body like in the middle of the mat. Then grab onto your shins and reach your chest up towards the sky. Look up at the ceiling, drop your head back if that's okay for your neck. And then with your exhale, just bow forward. Let your head drop. And we're going to start today with an Apache prayer. Looking behind, I am filled with gratitude. Looking forward, I am filled with vision. Looking upward, I am filled with strength. Looking within, I discover peace. Looking behind, I am filled with gratitude. Looking forward, I am filled with vision. Looking upward, I am filled with strength. Looking within, I discover peace. So take a couple moments and just notice how you are this morning. Can you maybe remember your dreams? Or a feeling that you woke up with? So as you soften your body in this yin butterfly pose, let all of your muscles be heavy and relaxed. Find the stillness in your body. And that can help you just take a little bit more of a check-in and take a couple moments to notice how your thinking is. Observing how you've been thinking, even if it's only been a short morning so far. And then take a couple moments and notice what you've been feeling. Maybe your heart got a little excited to see the light coming sooner than it was last week. With your next inhale, roll up. Place your hands back behind you. Put your feet on the ground. Lift up your hips. If it's okay for your neck, drop your head back. Look at your third eye. Stick out your tongue all the way. And with a whisper, roar like a lion. And bring your hips back down. And stretch your left leg straight out. And lift up nice and tall. And do like a little ska dance. And twist your belly button over your extended leg. And then twist and bow forward. And then surrender your weight down towards the ground. So let your head be heavy. Let your elbows be heavy. Let your tongue be fat. And take a couple moments to notice your physical body and the sensations and energy in your body. can feel your right shoulder getting heavier. And even in the surrender of the yin poses, you can already start to work on the subtleness of your practice. So, of course, one element is kind of your inner life and what you bring to the yoga mat. What voices kind of accompany you on your practice. And then the bridge between this inner voice that can actually lift you up nearly, instead of just, goading you on. The bridge between that and our physical bodies, you can imagine that it's our bandhas, our locks, our root lock, our Uddiyana bandha, and even the Jalantara bandha. So even in a yin pose, you can start to very softly engage your root lock and maybe engage your Uddiyana bandha, allowing your breath to already have a rhythm. It's like a very gentle Ujjayi breath. And then with your inhale, roll up. And place your right hand behind you and just stretch the whole left side of your body. And then with your exhale, bring your hips back down. Switch your legs. Maybe you need like a two-step and country dance. I don't know. Or a waltz. But twist your belly over your extended leg. And then bow over your beautiful right leg. Let your head be heavy. And maybe you make up your own mantra for your class today. Or maybe decide the mood of your inner voice. Practicing kindness even within the privacy of your own head. Or maybe what would it be like to talk to yourself like your best friend? Notice your left shoulder heavy here. In this Apache prayer, I'm always a little bit surprised by the last line of I discover peace when I look within. Because it points to this element that we have this opportunity to, even within ourselves, start to become peacemakers instead of just fighters. Because we find that we're actually, or at least for myself, when I look inside, it's not always peaceful. But if I work and apply myself, I can create more peace for myself to discover. And it's challenging, and it's sometimes much harder than just, calling myself names. With your next inhale, roll up. Place your left hand behind you for support. Get dramatic and long on your right side. And with your exhale, come back down. And just come into a comfortable seated position. And try to cross your shins rather than have your feet close to the center. Try to cross your legs, tightly. There you go. If you need something underneath your hips to sit upright, take it. And we're going to sound 3 ohms. So bring your hands to heart center. Let your elbows be heavy. The drama and effort in your prayer position is really like a fully long, stretched out spine. Close your eyes. Maybe you already find this kind of like Mona Lisa smile, mysterious, subtle. Empty your breath. Let's sound 3 ohms. Take a deep inhale. And then release your hands down and let your hands rest on your knees. And with your inhale, you're going to lift up your chest, look up, fill your lower belly. And with your exhale, you're going to pull your belly button back, reach your spine back, pull your chin towards your chest. Inhale, lift up, stretching the front part of your body. And with your exhale, even imagine stretching your back body here. So it's a little bit like a seated cat and cow. Inhale, look up, fill your lower belly, up there, your lower back is arching. Exhale, one more time, pull your belly button back. Feel the nice stretch between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, come up to center, and then just get wiggly. And you might even be able to, stretch your arms out a little bit. Maybe move them around, a little twisty. You're like the raving seaweed. And then wiggle your way onto your hands and knees. Placing your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees right underneath your hips. With your inhale, lift up your head, your heart, and your hips. Maybe your eyebrows too. And then with your exhale, push the ground away and float your cat, lifting up your knees off the ground. Belly lifting up to your spine. Inhale, lift up into cow. Feel your shoulder blades coming towards your hips. And then exhale, float your cat. And then inhale, come to a neutral spine, so you're engaging your lower abdominals. You're looking just slightly in front of you. Stretch your right leg out and just pulse a couple times with your heel to feel your calf release. And then pull your lower belly in again. And you're going to lift your leg up, keeping your hips squared. So you can play with this a little bit. Roll your pinkies up towards the sky, pinky toe that is, and then roll it back down, and that's when your hip is squared. Feel the length in your right leg reaching back, and reach your left arm forward. Take a full inhale as you get long here. With your exhale, bring your elbow and knee together. Now with your next inhale, open up your bent limbs like an awkward bat. Yes. And then exhale, touch your elbow and knee together. Again, awkward bat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, touch your elbow and knee, pull your belly up. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, touch your elbow and knee. And inhale, stretch your limbs long. And bring your left hand underneath your shoulder and spin your right foot behind your left toes, lift your right arm up, and then see if you can balance on your shin and shift your weight so you can float your back leg. That would be your top leg, otherwise known as your right leg. Woo-hoo. Now, you're going to bend your right knee and try to bring your heel to your buttocks. Now, you don't want it going too far back behind you or you'll fall over. So feel like you're reaching your knee out from your hip and bringing your heel towards your buttocks. And then stretch your top arm over, actually, your hip. We usually go the other way, like as if you're going to grab onto your knee, but don't actually grab it. And then with your exhale, return to all fours. And then get a little wiggly with your cow. So sassy cow. Looking at your right hip as you try to bring your right shoulder to your right hip. Looking at your left as you try to bring the left to the left. Beautiful. And then pulse back a couple times with your left heel. Working out the kinks in your left calf. Pull your lower abdominals in. Lift your leg up. And then really play with the rotation of your leg to feel where your hip is. So oddly enough, we never can quite feel where our hip, or not feel it so much. So we kind of have to orient with our feet. Turn your pinky toe side down to the ground. And with your inhale, stretch your right arm. Feel the length. Feel your abdominals engage more when you stretch in both directions here. Take another full inhale, and with your exhale, elbow, knee touch together. Inhale, open up your awkward bat wings. Exhale, touch it in. Pull your belly up. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch them back together, and then extend on the long line here. Bring your right hand down underneath your shoulder and peel your left foot down to the ground, lining up the arch of your foot with your tips of your right toes. Lifting up your left arm, and then find the weight in your shin and see if you can balance. You'll find flexing your foot helps so the leg doesn't go back behind you, maybe bringing your gaze already to the ceiling. And then bend your knee, bringing your heel to your buttocks, and stretch your arm along your leg as if you're going to grab your knee, but don't actually grab it. Just for fun, notice what your inner voice is doing, or your face, or your bandhas. Beautiful. And then stretch your limbs long, and exhale, come back into sassy cow. Wiggle your hips side to side. And then come to center. Exhale, tuck your toes under, and lift up into downward facing dog. Hopefully you feel your spine already. Thank you. Feel a little warmth. Now bend your knees deeply. Pull your hips up and back. And then slowly start to straighten your legs. Most likely you won't straighten your legs all the way unless you're really bendy. So feel like you're pointing your sit bones up to the ceiling. Notice how your hands are connecting to the ground. So rooting down with the first knuckle of your thumb and your index finger in the soft spot in between. Take another full inhale. And with your exhale, empty your breath, look in between your hands, and float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, drag your chest forward. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet and rise all the way up to the sky. Reach your fingernails up to the ceiling. And with your exhale, come home. Samasti Tihi. And Tihi, it's got a little of a smile at the end there, so just to remind you, inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga or the ground. Then come all the way down to the ground. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So both in low cobra and upward facing dog, it's a back bend. You have your legs really active and strong, your toenails pushing to the ground. And it's really, you can practice low cobra if it's too much weight to lift your legs off the mat. And then you strengthen yourself to one day do upward facing dog. Take another full inhale, empty your breath all the way, look in between your hands, and float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, drag your chest forward. With your exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, roll all the way up to the sky, reach up higher than last time. Exhale, samastitihi. Now get low and inhale, Utkatasana. Beautiful. So there's a lot of variations of this pose because there's so many different yogas and teachers. You're like, no, don't lecture. So for today, try to find the weight in your heels. And then notice that you can sit a little bit more upright. So there's an effort in your chest, a nice contraction in your lower back. You're squeezing your kidneys. They love that. Take another full inhale, maybe with a hint of a smile, show off your sparkling eyes. And then with your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, this time go to chaturanga, halfway down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Toenails on the ground. Yes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And with your exhale, just tap your right shoulder. It's kind of hard. Yeah, nice, Sana. Inhale, stretch your leg long one more time. Try to tap your shoulder. Yeah. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Now go for your upper elbow. Should feel easy. Oh, yeah, nice. Beautiful. Stretch your leg long. And with your exhale, step your foot all the way forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. Your back heel's lifted. Lift your arms up. You can always drop your back knee if you need extra support. Lift your heart. Take another full inhale as your gaze is lifting to the ceiling, and then ride your exhale all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. And with your exhale, bend your knee and try to touch your shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale, stretch your leg long, and again. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Go for your upper left elbow. Oops, it feels so easy. And inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your foot forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. And then lift upward. Take a full breath here. Reach your fingernails away from your hands. Take another full inhale. And with your exhale, ride your breath all the way through to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, your heart lifting, your lungs filling. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and feel your arms and your ears lined up. So we kind of want to prioritize here, like we move out from the center. So we really want to have our spine long and straight. So rather have your back straight than your legs straight if it's one or the other. Take another full fueling breath. Empty your breath all the way and then lightly hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, drag your chest forward, building the fire. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, one breath, Utkatasana. Look up. And then with your exhale, samastitihi. Then inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, open arm twist to your right. One breath, inhale up to center. With your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Inhale, lift up to center. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift, lots of heart. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, touch your left elbow, because there's no way you're getting to your left shoulder, yeah? Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, tap your left elbow again. Inhale, stretch your leg long. With your exhale, take your right knee to your right elbow. Enjoy a warming push-up. Then inhale your leg long, and with your exhale, step your foot all the way forward to crescent lunge. Rise up. Find the power in your left leg pushing back as you lunge with your right knee, and with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Reach through your fingertips. Let your gaze be lifted, let your shoulders soften, and your left leg is powerful and strong. Then inhale, crescent lunge, and with your exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. With your exhale, tap your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long, extension. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your elbow. Enjoy a push-up on the left-hand side. And then inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, step your foot all the way forward to your thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Let your gaze be lifting. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Reach through your fingertips. Just like you're pushing your right heel back and up as you lunge deeper with your left knee, they go together. Stretch your arms further apart. Lift your gaze. If you're feeling radical, maybe smile. You might notice you nearly want to fall over. Then inhale up, crescent lunge, and exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking upwards. Let your gaze lead you. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So your gaze can just land in between your feet, or if you're practicing more of a Ashtanga style, you can start to look at your belly button. Feel the heat increasing in your body. And part of what we want to do, part of what the management of the locks, the bandhas are, engaging your root lock here, it helps keep this warming heat in your torso, which helps all of our organs work better. Now, we're going to do a couple donkey kicks. So you want to feel that your fingers are stretching out, and you're going to walk your feet a little bit closer to your hands, then shift your weight to your hands, look in between your hands, and just see if you can actually kick your own butt. And maybe you might get stuck in the air. You can hang out there. Now try to land quietly so I can't hear you. Yes. One more. And then walk your feet or jump your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Let your shoulders come back so your heart can come forward. Exhale, release and bow down. Toes and heels together. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale up to center. Exhale, open arm twist to your left. Inhale up to center. With your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Your gaze is a little bit in front of your mat. And then walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Your gaze is just 6 inches in front of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, looking up towards the ceiling, even if you don't get there. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, take your right knee to your left elbow and enjoy a humbling push-up. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Enjoy another push-up. Feel powerful there. Yes. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your foot forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. And then with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Reach through your fingertips here. Then inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And with your exhale, you're going to fly into half moon. So maybe you need a block or a water bottle underneath your right hand or something. Otherwise, just stretch your fingers, catch the floor, then bring your chin to your chest and turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. Feel your left foot flexed. Take another full inhale. And with your exhale, bring your left hand down, let your hips square. Inhale, drag your chest forward, lengthen your spine. With your exhale, just wave to the light side of the room. Right side of the room, did I say light? And then with your exhale, bring your hand down. Inhale, drag your chest forward, halfway lift. And with your exhale, one-legged chaturanga. Don't overthink it, you can do it. Yes, Silas. Woo. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. With your exhale, tap your right elbow and enjoy a push-up. It's a really hard one, so even just a little bit of a push-up. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Push it up. Inhale, stretch it long. Nice, Frida. And then exhale, step your foot all the way forward. Rise up because of the power of your legs. Just feel the freedom in your spine. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Reach through your fingertips. Notice how your hands actually help your chest open up here. Then inhale up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And now just to feel the difference, make your hands into fists. And then you're going to shift to your left foot and slowly hinge into half moon. Yes, then release your left fingers to the ground. And feel that you're going to pull your right buttocks underneath you so that your left buttocks underneath you so your right hip is stacked on top. Allow yourself to breathe. Imagine there's a wall behind you. Now with your exhale, bring your right hand down, let your right hip square. Inhale, drag your chest forward. And then exhale, just wave to your fans on the left-hand side. Woo, hey. And then bring your left hand down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, one-legged chaturanga, all the way back. Yeah, nice pair. Inhale, lift up your heart, point your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in with your exhale, just sigh it out. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. And then walk or float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Then step your feet out so they're about as wide as your mat. Your toes can turn out a little bit. And come down into Malasana, goddess pose. We're using it right now as a little transition. Still too close. So let your heart lift up. Your elbows are pushing into your knees. And then we're going to actually roll onto our backs. We're going to do a little preparation on our backs. Oh, I'm just kidding. By backs, I mean our bellies. So put your hands down, step back, and lower yourself all the way to the ground. Take your arms up in front of you. So stretch your arms forward. And you're going to take your hands into prayer. Put your forehead on the ground. Lift your hands up so they're pointing at the ceiling. And then bend your knees. And inhale, lift up your consciousness. And with your exhale, pull your belly up and lift your elbows up and your head up and lift your knees and try to bring your feet towards your buttocks. Now really try to reach your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands, your arms squeezing in. Lift your head, lift it up a little higher, and then release down, relax your arms, take a moment. Then again, stretch your arms forward, hands in prayer, bend your elbows. And this time, I want you to really root down to the ground with your left leg. Your left leg stays long on the mat. Bend your right knee. Feel your right hip on the ground and your left leg pushing down as you inhale, prepare yourself, and with your exhale, pull your belly away from the mat and lift up. Feel that you're pushing your left leg down. Bring your arms back, elbows squeezing in. Try to get your fingernails to touch your heel. Point your toes. Lift up a little higher. Yes. And then with your exhale, release. And then we have one more side. So you're going to feel your right leg rooting down as well as your left hip. Bring your hands back into prayer. Bend your elbows. Prepare with your inhale, and with your exhale, lift up. Keep pushing down with your right leg. Feel how it helps you. Squeeze your elbows together. Try to reach your fingers towards your heel towards your buttocks. towards your hand. Lift up a little higher. Yeah. And then gently release down to the ground. Now bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Now keeping your knees bent, come up onto your knees and then just reach back into a bent knee downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way and lightly hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your hips, inhale, Utkatasana. And then just stand up. Feel the freedom of the straight leg. Yes. All right, so we're going to do the same pose that we did on the ground, standing up. So take your hands, reach your arms up, and then bend your elbows. Just keep your elbows squeezed together. Keep your gaze lifted. And then lift up your right leg. And you're going to kick your foot back, keep your gaze lifting, and try to reach your hand towards your foot. You might get like a little inch or two, or centimeters, those are even smaller. But smile, try to pull your thigh back. Even more. Yeah. Think good thoughts. You're thinking good thoughts, right? Like, I'm totally going to reach the foot to my head. And then release. Now do this really, just, creative wiggle. Other side's going to be awesome. All right. Arms up over your head. Bend your elbows. Now, it's really easy to bend your elbows and be like, okay, I'm going to look right here. See if you can lift your chin away from your chest. You want to imagine you practice with an L underneath your chin. And then get the weight into your right foot. Bend your left knee. And keep the lift up as you try to bring your feet to your hands and your hands to your feet. One foot. Breathe into it. So we know that we can sometimes yank our leg and pull, but we want to start to develop the effort and strength to reach into a pose. Beautiful. And then come to the top of your mat. And just do a little shake and a wiggle. And then inhale, stretch your arms up high. With your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, right knee to your right elbow and try running man or a push-up. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. With your exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Open arm twist to your right. Inhale up to center. With your exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Make your hands into fists and then float into half moon. Once you stick it in half moon, so to say, release your right fingers to the ground. Stretch your left fingers up to the sky. Now bend your top knee. It's your left one. And then reach your hand down as if you're going to grab your foot, but don't even grab it yet. Find that reach first. Just maybe touch your foot. And then if you want, grab your ankle and maybe start to extend your leg a little bit, playing with it. You kind of have to look at the ground here for the ease as a beginner. Nice. Then without falling over, can you let go of your leg? Square your hip. Bring your left hand down to the ground. Inhale, drag your chest forward. With your exhale, just wave to your right hand side. A little bit of a twist. Bring your right hand down again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, one-legged chaturanga. We're nearly to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Enjoy running man over the arm balance or a push-up. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your foot forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. Your gaze is lifting. It's a verb. It's more and more. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Then inhale up to center. Even your fingers are reaching. And then exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Make your hands into fists. And then float into half moon. And then release your fingers. One stretches to the earth and one to the sky. Tuck your left hip underneath your right hip. And then bend your right knee, bringing your heel to your buttocks. And then maybe reach back. See if you can grab your foot. Just going for it, reaching for it first. And then, yes, if you want to play, grab your foot. Notice once you have the grip, you can move your heel a little bit further away from your buttocks. Let your head drop for candy cane. And then with grace, extend your limbs like the happy starfish. And with your exhale, bring your right hand down. Let your right hip squared. Try to lift your right leg long. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, twist to your left. Just wave to your fans on the left-hand side. Yeah, hello. And then bring your hands back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, one-footed chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now take the next minute to do anything you want. You can do a couple handstand practices if you want, just extending one leg up to the sky and lifting up. And then find your way after 15 more seconds. We're going to meet up on our backs. But you can totally take your inversion. If you want a longer inversion practice and you're practicing at home, you can always pause the video and do more. We want to start to notice that we crave certain poses and we want to avoid certain poses. And we want to wake up to both sides of these and actually practice both the ones we try to avoid and the ones we crave. All right, find your way down from your inversion onto your mat. Beautiful, Sana. And we're going to come onto our backs. And we're going to do one final little back bend for our back bending class. You want to reach your hands down the length of your body. You want to feel your middle fingers touch your heels. Your heels are hip distance apart, and then you can spin your toes inward a little bit, so they're a little bit pigeon-toed. And then find your feet pushing down to start to roll your hips up. Now, you can either stay here in bridge, or if you feel warm enough, we've actually been doing back bends all class. You can bring your hands up next to your ears, fingers pointing down to your hips, and lift up into full wheel. Now, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, whether you're in bridge or wheel, step your feet closer together and stretch your right leg straight up to the sky, keeping your hips even. Breathe into it, even just lifting up onto your toes on your right foot. Lift your leg up as high as it goes, keeping your hips lifting, and then switch. The last one's a doozy. It's a little bit challenging. Get a little bit more in there. Lift your leg as high as you can. Are you thinking good thoughts still? And then bring your foot down, bring your chin to your chest, lay down, and this time let your feet slide out as wide as the yoga mat. Let your knees drop back together. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And then hug your knees to your chest. Lift up your face and kiss your knees. Thank you for getting you this far in life. And then roll back and forth on your spine. And lift up into a seat. And again, come into Sukhasana, where you cross your shins, having your feet underneath your knees. Or if you'd like, you can practice half lotus or full lotus. And then inhale, get nice and tall. And with your exhale, bring your hands in front of you and wiggle the fluffy part of your butt back. And then walk your hands forward. And then reach your chest forward. And then wiggle your bum back again. Hey. And then when you run out of space, then you soften into the pose. So take your breath to help you. Take a nice cleansing exhale. You can even sigh it out through your mouth if it helps. Let your head drop. And then roll back up. Bring your hands back behind you. Stretch your legs out. Ah! And then recross them. You can't quite go into lotus there. And again, so you take your little spiders for the walk. Fluffy behind you. Okay, I haven't nicknamed my butt, but you know, if I was going to get one, that would be a pretty good one. Move your chest forward. And repeat. Until you run out of space, and then soften and bend forward here. And just notice how your inner voice is doing, how your inner world is. And you might find that after we've explored both the yin and the yang, that maybe you are discovering a little bit more peace. Kind of we've sweated through the petty stuff. One more exhale to really soften and let go. And then inhale, walk your hands back, roll back. Just shake out your legs. And then bend your right knee. I'll be your mirror. And step in front of your right knee with your left foot. So you're bringing your right heel towards your buttocks. You want your whole left foot on the ground. And you want to feel both your sit bones on the ground. For some reason, when I raise my hands, I can feel my sit bones better. And then stretch your right arm up so it actually like lifts you up taller. And then twist away from your arm, hook your elbow outside your knee. Either have your elbow bent, or you can even slide your fingers underneath your right shin. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, twist, allowing your left arm to help you be up tall and even help you twist. You can let your chin come over your shoulder. Maybe smile a little bit. Feel like there's an invisible force lifting the tips of your ears up. And then unwind and come to center. And if you want to do a little playful thing for your last, before you go to the other side, to transition, you can put your hands in front of you. And you can come forward and put your head on the ground. And you can either just lift your knees up a little bit and switch your legs, or you can come all the way up into headstand and then switch your legs and slowly come back down. And you're on the other side. However you get there. So even just lifting up a little bit, nice. We start to be playful with our practice. Feel the 3 points of contact. And then stretch your left arm up. Turn yourself away from your left, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, get tall and lifted. So you want to feel that you're rooting down to rise up. Let your heart be lifting. And unwind. And place your feet on the ground and do your version of a little hippie dance or hula dance. To very slowly dance your way down all the way into Shavasana. So have your arms next to your side with your palms open to receive. If that's uncomfortable, you can always have your hands resting on your belly. You can lift your ribs and squeeze your shoulder blades together and then pull your shoulder blades down your spine, helping relax your shoulders. And then let your ribs drop back down to the ground. If your lower back hurts, you can let your feet be as wide as the yoga mat, and your knees drop back together, and that should help release your lower back. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe make some faces and wiggle your nose. And then stretch your body long with your inhale, and with your exhale, curl into a ball and roll onto one side. And just take a moment and feel your vibration, your vibrancy, vitality. I'm so happy you're alive. Help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to meet at heart center. Again, root down to rise up. And let's close with one final Om. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And make some noise. And thank you so much for your time, your attention, your courage, and go be awesome.